in the last 24 hours or so. All right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. What is January 19th, 2018? I'm Breaky CPK. Of course, this is the Breakdown Daily Recap, where we definitely have plenty to go over once again, including a couple more qualifier results. Really, one qualifier result, definitely an interesting finish, to say the least. We have a couple of announcements from some upcoming events, including a special qualifier from the ESL 1 Katowice. We'll preview that a little bit, as well as the Dota 2 Asian Championships. They released more information on their closed qualifiers and open qualifiers even, and how that's going to work. So plenty to go over, but first things first, let's start with, of course, the Galaxy Battles tournament that did indeed kick off last night. So once again, to reiterate, I actually personally was casting the secondary stream for this event, so I was really excited to do it, and definitely glad I did. I actually got to get my co-caster Trouf, who's obviously has a lot of history with me, specifically way back in the Han days, but I have casted with him here and there in Dota 2 as well, and it's always a great time. Fantastic co-caster, and I think we had a solid time last night as well. So with all of that in mind, we have some results. We already found out two teams that are eliminated. As you can see on the brackets right here, Infamous and PG Barracks are no longer part of the event. They got eliminated. First day eliminations are always tough, but again, with everything this tournament has gone through, you know what? It's understandable. They've kind of had to make a lot of changes, and they decided that would be part of the format. It was also best of one games in the loser bracket, the first round at least. I believe from here on out, it should be best of three. Don't quote me on that, but I think that's the case. Maybe not. We'll see. I mean, does this... Oh, no. Okay. It looks like it is best of one. Even in the loser finals. All right. I don't know if this is necessarily true because Liquipedia had best of threes all the way through yesterday, so we'll wait to see. I can't confirm that either way. Point is, loser's bracket was at least best of one yesterday. You see all the results initially, though. Team Spirit kicked it all off on the main event. They 2-0'd TNC Pro Team, the home team of sorts. Definitely a lot of hype around them, and frankly, a team that I did expect to do very well in this event, being the home team, kind of feeling off of that momentum. But as I've always said, Spirit out of the CIS region is a strong team, and I can't say I'm too surprised that they ultimately did defeat TNC. But interesting result there. VGJ Thunder did take out Infamous, match that I happened to cast in our first series of the night. They won that 2-0. Pretty decisive victory for them as expected. Evil Geniuses over PG Barracks. Of course, PG Barracks, the wild card team out of Indonesia, didn't really stand a chance. I didn't get to watch that because I was casting the other series, but I heard that. I saw a couple of clips. It was as expected. It was quite the stomp by EG. And then the series that we casted last ended up being the best series of the quarterfinals. OG versus Pain Gaming, going the distance. OG, of course, using a couple of stand-ins in Keizu and Effing Mad, replacing Notel and S4 for this event. And then Weehaw on the other side playing for Pain Gaming as technically he was their mid, but in this series, he only ended up playing middle one of the three games, interestingly enough. But Pain Gaming off to a very strong start. They won the first game of the series. Game 2 was very back and forth as well. Pain Gaming could have definitely won it. They did not. OG came through, and then OG did dominate somewhat in game number 3 to then take the series. So you do see how it's now playing out. Our semifinals are set up, at least on the winner side. Spirit versus VGJ Thunder, and that's going to be followed by arguably one of the biggest matches of the tournament, Evil Geniuses versus OG. Always a great series. Don't know what to expect there. I definitely lean towards EG. OG looked a little shaky last night against Pain Gaming, albeit Pain Gaming, again, a solid team. Weehaw clearly stepping in as a solid player, but OG looked a little rocky. So I'm going to lean towards EG in that one. As far as the top portion, I'm going to go with Team Spirit, actually. I think they're going to carry some momentum and advance on to the winter finals, if I had to make predictions there. On the loser side, you have TNC and Pain Gaming advancing on as mentioned. They'll play the losers of those respective series up there. So that's the Galaxy Battles. As far as the production and everything goes, not to touch too much on it, apparently there were some issues. Like I said, I was doing my own stream, so I didn't necessarily get to watch the main production. But from what I was seeing, they were having some audio issues. Welcome to LAN events, guys. That happens. Frankly, with how much was set up for this event and how much they've had to go through with making adjustments and everything last minute and what people ultimately expected, especially for the previous one, I think it's been all right so far. It's not been great. It's definitely not been. It's probably not been up to a standard by any means, but it hasn't been this complete shit show that people are almost expecting going into this. It's flowed somewhat nicely. There hasn't been too many delays, and there have been some audio issues, some graphic issues, I guess, with the colors on the mainstream was a little bit off at times. Ultimately, matches have happened, though. It's been entertaining from my understanding. So we'll see how that continues. I'm sure they're going to make adjustments and improvements, as any land does. So Galaxy Battles, I would say, is off to a solid start considering what people expected going into it. All right, that's the Galaxy Battles. Another event that wrapped up, the qualifier, actually, for the GESL North American region. We had 3 teams going in last night. Complexity versus Animal Planet kicked it off, and Animal Planet ended up coming back after losing the first game to win Game 2 and 3 and move on. And by the way, Game 3, one of the more epic finishes you'll see. It was a bit of a it was a throw. It was a huge throw, frankly, by Complexity. They were up by 10 to 15,000 net worth, which isn't crazy significant, but they were up by hefty amount for most of the game. It was about 30 minutes in or so, I believe. Let me double check. It's more about 40 minutes in. But a couple of them died without a buyback at a key point. Moo on the Underlord, and then it was Chessie on the Death Prophet, actually, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe it was the Chaos Knight. Anyways. They died later on with no buybacks, and the Terrorblade of Animal Planet Ritsu, they just ended up pushing all the way to the throne. They went for the Tier 3 tower, they went right to Tier 4 towers, and they killed the throne before they could ultimately defend and resurrect. So because of the lack of buybacks, obviously Animal Planet won. That sent them on to the finals, where boy did they carry that momentum once again. They won 3 games straight against Optic Gaming to make it 3-0 and qualify for their first minor of the season. Big congratulations to Animal Planet. Again, this is a team. They've made it look easy, but they're coming into what's definitely a solid region already in North America. Several top teams already competing, and it's a new team of players put together. We've seen it so many times where some big-name players come together, yet it just falls completely flat. This is not the case with Animal Planet. They're showing that they are a team to reckon with, and I expect definitely some good results from them moving forward here when it comes to more events. So they qualify for a minor once again. Speaking of Animal Planet, they're going to have another chance, as several other teams will. In fact, 12 in total, as ESL 1 Katowice officially announced that they're having a second chance or last chance. Okay, they're calling it the last chance tournament. So we talked about how there was going to be one more spot on the line for the Katowice event, and I kind of figured it was going to be last invite, like they were going to see which team's going to make it and maybe invite one of the teams, but they decided to just throw a North America event, which I found a little bit surprising, considering I wonder how they went about choosing the region. I guess the representation they felt like wasn't necessarily the most, considering how strong it is. And I do agree with that, because you have Complexity and EG, but that is it out of the North American region. So you still have teams like Immortals, Optic Gaming, obviously Animal Planet, VGJ Storm. These are all really strong teams with potential to go to this is a minor. This is a major. This is a major. That's right. God, there's so many of these events, man. It's hard to keep track sometimes. Anyways, this is a major. So, point is, going back over here, you look at the teams. Now, one thing to mention on this, so it's going to be a 12-team event. 4 of the teams got technically invited right to the quarterfinals. It ended up being 6 teams, actually, as they had buys in the first round. So, yeah, 6 teams go to the quarterfinals. The other 4 have to duke it out in the round of 12 initially, as you see from the format here. One thing, I'm not sure why they did that. It doesn't make sense to me, because they have Optic Gaming playing Animal Planet. Arguably the top 2 favored teams in the qualifier. They have them matched up in the quarterfinals. So it's, this is the same event that went through all that drama where, frankly, I said I was on the side of ESL in a lot of ways when it came to them forfeiting both Optic Gaming and Animal Planet because of all the issues from another qualifier that was going on, how things got delayed. They weren't necessarily communicating the best, apparently. They ended up deciding to give forfeits to both of those teams and advancing on others as a result. So there was a bit of that drama. Life moved on. So doing this, though, it's like, oh, hey, guys, maybe we did feel a little bit bad. We want to give you guys a second chance. Great. And this is almost like a slap in the face, though, right? It's like, yeah, we're going to give you a second chance. We're going to have you play each other in the, the round of 8 with that second chance. It's like, wait, what? What? No. I got it. It feels like to me somebody at ESL is just sitting back in their chair laughing at this situation. It's almost like worse that they did this. It would have been better off just not even having this event in the first place, I feel like. But anyways, they have them matched up in the quarterfinals right off the bat. I do not get that whatsoever. And on top of that, the winner is going to move on to play very likely Immortals. Now, Immortals, they're going through some drama. Not really drama, but they've been going through some stuff, obviously dropping out of a recent qualifier on top of QO, actually, which I guess I'll bring up now. QO did announce that he's going to be stepping down from competitive Dota. He hasn't been feeling it recently. He's stepping down for the time being, and so now Immortals is in a spot where they are looking for a new carry player. Mason's name has been thrown around a bit as a possible replacement, or at least a substitute in the meantime. There is no confirmation there, but that is a possibility. But then, yeah, so you have those 3 teams on the top portion. Then on the bottom portion, all you really have is VGJ Storm, which, you know, the CES team, how they got a Tier 1 invite over Animal Planet is, again, what? Okay, good players, sure, but what the hell have these guys done, especially in comparison to players on Animal Planet, and the fact that they just qualified for a minor now. I know that happened last night, and they very likely maybe had this scheduled and set up already before last night, but even before last night, Animal Planet, by a way better team than CES as far as recognition goes. So it seems like this is like a half-assed attempt at saying that, okay, maybe we were wrong in some way where we feel bad, but then they're just making it worse at the same time. But in the end, they're not really, because both Opticame and Animal Planet now have another chance ultimately. They're just going to have to play each other in the quarterfinals to then eventually move on and see if they can go all the way. So that's that. That will be kicking. I don't even know when this is starting, actually. It looks like 3 or 4 days from now. Okay, it's about 3 or 4 days from now it's going to be taking place, this last chance event. And we'll see. We'll see how that looks throughout. But obviously it's going to be an interesting start, to say the least, and ultimately one team advancing on to the major for that final spot. One more thing to go over before we are done here with the daily recap. The DAC, more information coming out. We had Team Secret announced as the final invite team here recently. And so that means 6 teams are now invited. The rest are going to be qualify spots, and they released information today, including what the closed qualifiers and the open qualifiers are going to be looking like, when the schedules are going to be. I gotta say, DAC has been doing a fantastic job of making this information very transparent. And the event itself isn't set to take place in, I want to say, April is when it's going to be happening. So it's still a bit away, but the qualifiers for it are going to be happening soon. They're doing a great job of the information again, so you can kind of just glance through real quickly. I was looking through it, nothing really standing out to me. There's a couple noteworthy points. Actually, there was one. Speaking of Animal Planet again, they're not part of the invite for close qualifiers in the NA region. Instead, teams like Five Turtles was given a spot over them. Who the hell is Five Turtles? I don't know. Let's see. Five Turtles. Is this even a team that's going to find? No? Okay. Were they in this part of the qualifier? Maybe? Oh, okay. I don't know who Five Turtles is. So the point is, yeah. Again, whoever they are, they're definitely not a more qualified team than Animal Planet. But I don't get I don't know if Animal Planet's just made enemies with some of these organizations. Who knows? To be fair, again, I do see this. They probably had these things figured out, but definitely before last night. And Animal Planet only has been around these couple of weeks, so if they had it even a week or so ago, then maybe that's a little more understandable. But so Animal Planet will have to play through the open qualifiers. Obviously, you expect them to make it. It just kind of sucks for them that they have to play through the open qualifiers on top of that. Other than that, again, not much else standing out. We do have the European region, though. Alliance, we're going to see the debut of Alliance, most likely, with their new roster, including Insania, Mickey. Who else do we got? I got to pull them up now as I'm trying to remember who we're dealing with. The current roster is Loda, Mickey, Boxy, Insania, and Taiga. That's right. So that's their 5-man roster. Really excited for that. As a former Han guy myself, obviously this has a lot of former Han presence. 4 out of the 5, but technically all 5 if you do include Loda way back in the day, but don't really. So 4 out of the 5. Really excited to see the debut of that roster and how they perform in the DAC qualifiers. And then again, they give the slot distribution as far as how many spots are open for each of the qualifiers. And it looks like actually, okay, so they're going to be giving 3 to China, 2 to NA, 1 to Europe, 1 to Southeast Asia, 1 to CIS, and 1 to South America. So pretty heavy on the China side, but it is the Dota 2 Asian Championships after all. So, and there was actually a pretty cool, somebody on Reddit, yeah, this Plo Koon guy, he did post a nice little graph that kind of shows the top 16 teams in the Dota Pro Circuit points currently, what region they're from, and how many tournament slots they're getting. So, and then he kind of has a difference. So China, they have 6 slots ultimately because they have the 3 invited and now the 3 qualified spots. But, 4 of their teams are in the top 16, and China, honestly, I think it arguably is like the best just overall region. So I overall I'm fine with that, especially with where it's at. And then you got the other comparisons. Again, -1 for SCA, -1 for NA. But again, understandable. And then CIS breaking even. SA having the +1, as of course they have to have a team from SA, as Valve has said. So that pretty much covers it, though. That's all the news and information for the daily recap today. Sorry that it was a little bit later on, but got it out of the way, so hopefully you guys enjoyed. Definitely let's tune in for the Galaxy battles tonight. I know I will be, and we'll see what more information comes out by tomorrow's daily recap. Until then, guys, follow me on Twitter and Facebook. Follow me on here, subscribe to the channel, as well as follow me on Twitch and all over the place. I'll see you guys next time. Have a good night.